Hello, everybody, and welcome. My name is Danielle, and as always, I'm so glad you're here. Today, I have a flow class prepared with a bit more focus and emphasis on core work and plank. So get ready to kind of fire up that inner heat, build some strength, do a few more chaturangas than I normally do, and then we'll wind it down, cool down, and get some nice stretching in. So as always, you are free to modify and maybe do less, maybe do more, just listening to your bodies, do what's right for you. Maybe grab some blocks if you like them. You don't need them, but they can always be helpful. And I will meet you on your mat here in child's pose. All right, everybody, so we will go ahead and get started. If you notice, my dog Mochi is over there. She's just really enjoying being outside today, so I'm gonna let her run around, get some smells in, apparently eat a little bit of grass while we're flowing, but that's okay. She's always my best cheerleader watching us from afar. But all right, we will go ahead and get started focusing in. So coming into child's pose to start, your knees can be together. If you want to support your low back, I always love taking my knees out wider, allowing me to get deeper into my hips. But either choice, we're lifting, growing tall through the heart, and then slowly starting to walk our hands forward, starting to bring that forehead down. And then just a few good breaths here at the beginning. Maybe closing your eyes, maybe just gazing at the tip of the nose, whatever feels right for you. Just starting to mentally prepare yourself for the poses, the work to come. As always, in all of my classes, I give options. I give choices to help you modify and find what works in your body. But this is your practice. So all that matters for these next few moments on our mats is you, your breath, and whatever is going on inside the four corners of your mat. So as we're sitting here settling in, breathing into our back ribs, and start to take notice of what is happening on your mat. Are you anxious? Are you relaxed? Is your mind wandering? Are you calm? Just try to take a baseline here at the beginning of how you're doing. So that way you can see how your baseline has changed at the end and start to see how this class has served you. So one more deep breath. Let's inhale together. Inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. And then we'll start to move. So squiggle walk your hands forward a little bit. Start to lengthen that spine. And on your exhale, hands are walking over to the right. Hip is sinking back to the left. We're looking for a nice C shape on the whole left side of the body here. Just waking up our muscles, getting into that spine to start. Sorry about the plane overhead. But it just gives you a little bit more ambiance, a little bit more to experience in this moment. All right, then inhale, walking back through center, stretch out long, lengthen that spine. And on your exhale, hands to the left, hips sinking back to the right. So we're actively pressing our hands in to push our hips back. Then when you have that depth, maybe wiggling the hands forward a bit, really getting as long as we can. Breathing into our right rib. And release. Walk back through center. Reset that spine. And on your inhale, coming up onto tabletop on our hands and our knees. So wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Navel to spine. A nice long neutral spine. Then on your next inhale, drop the belly. Pull the heart through for cow. Lifting that heart. And on the exhale, pressing down into your finger pads, rounding back for cat. And inhale, pulling the heart through. And then exhale, pushing the heart back. Then on your next inhale, a couple of rounds, moving with your breath, linking your breath with your movements. Maybe sticking with traditional cat-cow. Maybe if you're looking for a little bit more sensation, you can also add in some circles. So maybe circling the hips one way, maybe circling the shoulders, kind of getting a little bit more dynamic movement into your cat-cow. I like to kind of draw figure eights with my shoulders and my hips. It just kind of wakes everything up. But of course, you're always welcome to stick with the classic traditional cat-cow. Then reversing direction if you have taken any circles. Maybe closing the eyes and noticing where you're feeling tightness today. You know, what is your body trying to tell you and your mind isn't quite noticing? All right, then your next inhale, coming back through center, reset that spine, nice long neutral spine. And we're going to go do a little bit of wrist exercises today since we're doing more chaturangas. So to start, taking our hands so the fingers are pointing out to the outsides of the mat. You can stay in tabletop or maybe kneeling back a little bit, just depending on what feels right. But we're going to press our knuckles, our palms, our fingers into the earth and gently rocking back side to side to start to wake up those wrists. This is another situation where I love closing my eyes and really feeling the stretch. We're just gently rocking back and forth and just noticing what's happening in there. But we are pressing our fingers, our knuckles, our palms, gluing them into the earth. Really strong active arms here as we're waking them up. All right, and then we're going to take our hands, same thing. We're just going to flip them to the hands are pointing in, kind of getting into the opposite action, but the same shape. Rocking back and forth, pressing into the knuckles. Deep breaths here as we're doing it. Navel to spine, bringing that body awareness in. All right, then coming back through, we're going to take our hands, making our fists, bringing our hands together as if we're kind of giving a fist bump, and then pressing the back of the palms into the ground. And then bending your elbows as much as you need to start, giving yourself some space, and then starting to lift up, pressing into the earth, really trying to press our hands together and then down, and then lifting up just as much as we need to feel that stretch. So depending on your wrist mobility, you might be down here, you might be up higher, just wherever it is, that is okay. Just waking it up. Maybe staying with just the static, or maybe starting to roll a little bit forward and back. Getting into the wrists, all those deep tissues, just trying to wake them up, keep them safe. I don't know where Mochi got to, but I'm sure she'll be back. All right, and then coming back up, coming to seated for a moment. Your toes can be flat, pressing the tops down. I kind of like to tuck them a bit, get a little bit of a toe stretch in, and then we're shaking those hands out. So maybe taking your fists to start, rolling them around and around, then changing directions. All right, and then one last little thing. We're going to take our hands, start to flick them out, just waking up the fingers. So flick, flick, flick. As slow or as fast as you need to, maybe closing the eyes. I feel like we tend to forget about wrist mobility, hand mobility in our Vinyasa classes, especially for today. Let's get into it. All right, then shake it out and come back into tabletop. So we're going to walk our hands forward just a handprint or two, tuck our toes and lift your hips. Make your way into your first down dog of the day, or maybe of the class. I don't know. I'm not going to assume about your day, but as we're here, just starting to wake up the body, maybe start to walk your dog, bend into one knee, then the other, maybe do a little wiggle, a little squat. Twist, shake it out. It's just whatever is calling to you in this moment right now. And then starting to settle in for a few breaths, slowing it down, maybe closing the eyes. Starting to press the earth away, pushing the heart back towards your thighs. A generous bend in the knees as much as you need to get a nice long spine. My hands slip there a little bit, not pressing in enough. Then maybe starting to gently straighten your knees a little bit, draw the heels down. And when you feel that tension, that is where you pause and breathe into your back. All right, then bend your knees, look to the top of your mat, and pressing into your hands, you're going to gently tip your toe forward all the way, coming into your first forward fold. Maybe leaving your hands on the mat, maybe grabbing opposite elbows, starting to sway side to side. Maybe a little bobbing up and down. If you are swaying side to side, maybe adding in a little bit of a bend in either knee, just kind of gets a little bit of a deeper stretch, changes the stretch. Gentle tuck of the chin as we're bobbing in, just growing heavy in that upper body, pulling your vertebrae straighter. And then release. Hands come back down to the earth on your inhale. Roll it up, round it up. Chin comes up last. Arms up overhead. And exhale, arms down by your side. Maybe closing the eyes, coming back to that breath. What are we feeling? And preparing yourself for that more dynamic movement to come. All right, and then we move. Inhale, arms up, interlock grip, release the index fingers. Exhale, hips to the left, arms up and over to the right. So we're looking for that beautiful half moon shape, pushing our hips as we're pulling our arms, waking up that left side body. And then inhale back through center, reset your spine. Exhale, hips to the right, arms up and over to the left. The weight is in our heels, our kneecaps are lifted, everything is squeezing in towards center as we push and pull. Then inhale, release. Exhale, cactus the arms, drawing the shoulder blades down and back. Inhale, arms up, and exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, top of a push-up. Then inhale, shift forward, lower down, knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, pull the heart through for cobra. Exhale, fold in. Tuck the toes. Inhale, push yourself back in through child's pose. And then lift the hips for downward facing dog. So as always, we're just gently warming up here, getting progressively deeper. And that is our gentlest flow right there. And we are adding on from here, but know that this one is always an option. Or skipping it and going to child's pose, going straight to down dog. Those are also valid choices. All right, then bend the knees, look to the top, hop, step, or jump to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Closing the eyes, coming back to that breath. Breath by breath, being fully present. Right, inhale, arms up, interlock grip. Exhale, hips to the left, arms up and over to the right. We're holding for a breath. Then inhale back through center. Exhale, hips to the right, arms to the left. Holding for a breath. Inhale back through center. Exhale, cactus the arms, lifting the heart. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shining that heart. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step back, top of the push-up. Inhale, shift forward, then knees lower down, then lowering all the way down to the earth. Untuck the toes, inhale, pull yourself up for cobra, maybe a little higher this time. And exhale, folding in, retuck those toes, inhale, push yourself up through tabletop, then lift the hips, downward facing dog. All right, a little bit more dynamic. We'll be adding on from here in our bigger flows. Then inhale, bend the knees, look to the top, hop, step, or jump. Then exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Closing the eyes, coming back to that breath. Noticing what sensation is coming up right now. Then inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Sink the hips back on your next inhale. We lift up into chair pose. Sinking the hips back as we're lifting the chest up, wiggling the toes. We're not gripping the mat. The weight is in our heels. Can we sit a little bit lower as we peel the chest up? And then exhale, fold, lifting those hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, right foot steps back, and drop the knees, untuck the toes. On our inhale, hands to knee, thigh or sky for our crescent low lunge. And you're welcome to stay here, just holding it, feeling it out, or let's add in a little movement. Flip the palms so they're facing up, and then start to drive the heel back, pushing the hips back into a little balance challenge of a half splits. Then inhale, flip the palms, start to sink those hips forward, lifting up into our low crescent. Then exhale, driving the hips back, using that heel, driving it in. Then inhale, lifting those hips, rebending that front knee. So it's moving with your breath for a couple of rounds here, just getting some more dynamic movement as we're giving us a little balance challenge. And of course, you're always welcome to place those hands down if you need it between on that half splits, and then lifting back up. Again, this is your practice, your time to play, finding what feels right for you. All right, let's do one more round. And when we get to that half split, hold for a few breaths, feeling it out. Lifting with the heart, looking for a long spine, navel to spine as we're hinging forward. Maybe surrendering the head once you find that length. And breathe into that back leg. All right, then inhale, start to rebend that left leg, walking the hands forward. Going to go into a side plank here. So if you want the support, you can just swing that right leg out behind you, taking that left foot, stepping it back, coming into a supported side plank. Left arm reaching up. You're welcome to stay with this, or maybe stepping back if you want to go ahead into your full side plank this side, but we're still just warming up, so your choice. But we're reaching our hands up, getting support, pushing the earth away to really feel that activation on that right side. And then release, windmill the left hand down, pick up that heel, right foot steps back into full plank, holding for a breath. Knees can be lowered, and then shift forward, lower all the way down. Inhale, untuck the toes, lift ourselves up to cobra, maybe going into up dog. And exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Breathing for a breath. And bend the knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump to our forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Coming back to that breath. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, we fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, sink those hips back, lifting the hands, going into our chair pose. Second round here. So we're not gripping with the toes, weight is in the heels, our navel to spine, our core is working to lift us up as we sink those hips a little bit lower. Breathing here. And release, lifting those hips, hands fall down. Inhale, halfway lift, heart shines forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, left foot steps back, drop the knee, untuck the toes. On your inhale, hands to knee, thigh or sky for our low lunge on the other side. So we're rolling the shoulder blades down, lifting up, pressing down in that right foot. Maybe staying with this, or maybe getting some movement. So on the inhale, flipping the palms as if we're pressing up, and then exhale, sinking the hips back, driving through the right heel for our half splits. And then inhale, flipping the palms, sinking the hips forward. And exhale, driving the hips back. And starting to move with your breath for a few rounds. Maybe challenging yourself with the balance, maybe grounding the hands down. And what you need may be different from side to side. I'm definitely feeling a bit more wobbly on this side, and that's okay. We're trying to sink our hips lower, get a deeper stretch each round. All right, and then the next time you make it to half splits, settling in for a few breaths. Maybe the hands are by your hips, maybe they're framing that right foot. We're lifting with the heart to long spine, and then hinging forward, pausing wherever we feel that stretch the most. Breathing into the back of that right leg. And then we start to shift forward, coming into that runner's lunge, going into our side plank. So that left leg swings back, giving you a little support as you start to pick up that right leg, stepping it back. Right arm opens up, stretching north to south. We're pushing the earth away, finding activation in that left shoulder, left side of the body. Maybe staying here, maybe stepping the left foot back in front and behind. Maybe you want to lift that right leg a bit, getting a little bit of work into the outside of that right hip. All beautiful options. We're holding for one more breath. And then exhale, windmilling the right hand down, pick up that right foot, left foot steps back. We make our way to downward facing dog. Settling in for just a breath. Hopefully we're feeling a bit warmer now. So we're going to add on a little more intensity from here. So bending the knees, looking forward, hop, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Closing the eyes, coming back to that breath. What are you noticing as we're getting a little bit deeper? What thoughts are coming up? Just acknowledging them and sending them on their way so you can just be in this moment. And then we move. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down, sit low, going into our chair pose. So maybe staying with this, or if you want to add on more movement, doing the same thing with the hands, flipping the palms, pressing away, and then starting to drive the palms back, going into a little skier squat. Then inhale, flip the palms, reaching up, and exhale, driving the palms back. Maybe staying with this for a few rounds, sinking the hips deeper each time, or maybe starting to lift the heels when you get into your chair pose, a little bit of a balance challenge. Then exhale, sinking the hips down, dropping the heels. And just doing whatever feels right for you today. All right, let's do one more round, stopping in that skier squat, sitting down low. Inhale, lifting the hands up. And then exhale, fold, lifting those hips. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, right foot steps back, keeping that knee lifted. On your inhale, hands to knee, thigh, or sky for crescent high lunge. So same shape, just a bit more dynamic. You're always welcome to drop that knee if you need it. Staying with this, or let's add in that movement. Again, flipping the palms, pushing away, then starting to lean forward, drawing the palms back. Then inhale, rising up into crescent. Then exhale, hinging forward. Really feeling the back engage, really burning in that left knee. I'm definitely feeling the work. Let's one more round, reaching forward, shoulders away. Reaching back. Holding for a breath. And then releasing down to the earth, going into our side plank. So pressing into the right hand, maybe dropping the knee maybe keeping it lifted. We're going to peel the left hand away, start to shift the weight, pivot the right heel down, and stepping that left foot back to our side plank. Holding for a breath. And then lowering the left hand down, coming into regular plank just for a moment. Then rolling over to side plank on the other side. And again, knees raised or lowered, either option. Now we're going to go into side plank again, this time lowering down onto our elbows or forearms. Going into side plank on the right side, pushing the earth away. The pinky is spiraling in, really active arms. Then one more time, going into side plank on the left side. On the forearm if you can. And again, drop that knee if you need it. Breathing space. All right, then starting to lower the right hand down. Let's go right back up into regular plank one more time. Then lowering both hands down for plank. Making your way to downward facing dog, however you choose. Then resting for a few breaths when you get there. Always knowing you can come to child's pose. Resting down here as well. Whatever your body is asking for. If it needs some space, that's okay. Then bend the knees, look forward, hop, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, round it up, roll it up, arms up overhead. Exhale, arms down by your side. Closing the eyes. Coming back to that breath. And preparing to balance it out on the other side. All right, inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit down, sit low into our chair pose. So same options this set. You can stay holding it, or maybe start to flip the palms, push away, then start to drive the arms back into our skier squat. Then inhale, flipping the palms into chair. And exhale, driving the arms back for skier squats. Maybe moving with your breath, maybe closing the eyes, giving you a balance challenge. Maybe lifting the heels when we get into that skier squat, strengthening the ankles, then sinking them back down for chair. All right, then settling in that last time you make it to that skier squat, sitting down a little further. Can we push the arms back? Then inhale, reach forward, sink those hips lower. Then exhale, lift the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, shining that heart forward. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, left foot steps back, keeping that knee lifted. Inhale, hands to knee, sky, thigh or sky. Pinky spiraling in, reaching up, hips are sinking down, dropping that back knee if you need it. Holding here, or start to add in the arms. So flipping the palms, pushing up, then keeping that same action, hinging forward, drawing the palms back. Then inhale, lifting up. Exhale, driving the palms back. On your inhale, maybe straightening the leg a little bit. And inhale, on the exhale, sinking in. Just finding whatever little dance, whatever movement feels good. All right, let's do one more round. Trying to find that shake and quake. Then driving the palms back into our kind of modified high crescent here. And then bringing the arms down, going into side plank on the left side. So knees raised or lowered. Stepping the right foot back, reaching the right arm up. Pressing the earth away, pressing into the knuckles and the finger pads. Holding here. We're going into that forearm plank on the right side. Maybe lifting the foot. How much work do you want to do today? I'm going to forearm plank on the left side. Holding here, trying to keep those hips neutral, lifting them up. Then regular plank on the right side. And windmill both hands down, hold regular plank for just a moment, then shift forward, make your way to downward facing dog. Breathing here. All right, on your next inhale, raising that right leg, keeping those hips square. On your exhale, bringing your knee into your right elbow, pointing the toe, drawing the knee in, shoulders over your wrist. Inhale, lifting that leg up. On your next exhale, drawing the knee to the left elbow, trying to keep that foot high, using that core strength. And inhale, lifting back up. All right, exhale, knee comes through nose, rounding between the shoulders before we gently stepping it through. The back heel pivots down, warrior two roots. And on your inhales, we're gonna windmill open into warrior two. So feeling it out here, we're bending into that right knee, trying to keep the knee directly over the heel, pressing into the knife edge side of that left foot, stretching east to west. Gazes at the top of our fingers, top of our mat. Holding here. And then flip the palm, start to reach forward and then go back, going into our reverse warrior. And on your inhale, coming back through to regular warrior two. Then on your exhale, reaching forward, coming into side angle. Pinky spiraling in, stretching north to south. Then inhale, coming back up. And then starting to move with your breath. So on your exhales, reaching back into reverse. Inhale, coming through. Exhale, leaning forward. Maybe doing a circle with the arms. Maybe keeping it with traditional. Just starting to move with your breath. A little bit of a dance. Let's do one more round, reverse. One more round, warrior two. Then one more round in side angle. Maybe bringing the hands down. And then plant the left hand down, pick up that right foot. Starting to go into a little lunge crescent twist. Holding here for a breath. And then going into our side plank one more time. So dropping the left heel, starting to press the earth away, picking up that right foot, stepping back. Holding here. All right, then going into our forearm plank on the right side. Holding for a breath. Forearm plank on the left side. Holding for a breath. Regular plank on the right side, regular side plank. And windmill the hands down. Make your way to downward facing dog. Nice cleansing breath here as we settling in. So inhale through the nose. Open mouth, exhale, sigh it out. And then just have one more side. So on your next inhale, raising that left leg, keeping the hips square. On your inhale, drawing the left knee to left elbow, pushing, keeping that foot pointed. Inhale, we lift. Exhale, knee coming through to right elbow. And inhale, we lift. Exhale, knee coming into nose, rounding, bring the shoulders. Can we bring that knee in as high as we can? And then starting to step it through. Right heel pivots down. On your inhale, opening up into warrior two. So heel to arch alignment, slight angle in that back leg. Trying to keep our hips neutral, pointed to the side of the mat one day. When our shoulders directly over our hips, rolling the shoulder blades down. Stretching east to west and gazing at the top of our mat. Feeling it out for a breath or two before we start to go into that movement. So again, this is a little bit of a dance. Can we find some grace, elegance, or just static hold On our inhale, flip the palms, reaching forward, then back for our reverse warrior. And inhale, coming back through for regular warrior 2. Then inhale, reaching forward, coming down into our side angle pose. Then inhale, reaching back up. So we can keep doing that with the arms, just doing the traditional shapes, or maybe starting to move the arms using a little bit more core work to keep the upper body lifted. Just finding whatever is calling to you, but using the hands definitely turns on those side bodies. That's what we're trying to work here today. Get those side planks in. So can we find grace and space as we're challenging ourselves? All right, let's do one more round either side. So inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, side angle. Hold for a breath. Then start to windmill the right hand down. Pick up that right heel, making our way into side plank. So peeling open with the left hand, starting to use that core to pick up the left foot, stepping back to side plank. Then exhale, going into forearm plank on the left side. Holding for a breath. Then exhale, side plank on the right side, forearm plank. All right, then going to side plank on the left side one more time. I'm starting to feel it. I hope you are too. That's the goal. Then exhale, windmilling down for regular plank. Shift forward, making your way to downward dog. Breathing into our back line. Coming back to that breath, slowing down the heart. All right, one last little push here. On your inhale, shift forward, top of a push-up, knees raised or lowered. On your exhale, lower down, just fourth of a chaturanga. Then inhale back up, lift the hips, downward dog. All right, next inhale, roll forward, top of a push-up. On your exhale, lower down half of a chaturanga. Then inhale, push yourself up, lift the hips, downward dog. All right, next inhale, roll forward with that breath. On your exhale, lower down fourth of a chaturanga, half of a chaturanga, full chaturanga, then lower down all the way down. All right, we have made it to the ground to stay. Let's take some gratitude for a moment and just enjoy being there. Maybe resting with our hands on top of each other, bringing the forehead down. Just take a few moments to breathe into the back body. And just having some gratitude for this beautiful earth that supports us. All right, we're going to do a little bit of back work. So first up, doing some locust pose. So your hands can be coming out on the side like little airplane wings, maybe coming behind you. If you want to go for an interlock grip, releasing the index fingers, those are all beautiful options. We're going to do 3 rounds. So take what shape is calling to you, cultivating that strong cobra tail. Your legs are squeezing in, and on your inhale, everything lifts. So we're trying to balance on our hips and our ribs. Everything is lifting up. Where the gaze goes, the body follows. So can you look up, go up, fly up, and release. Maybe turning your head to the side. Gaze off on the side of your mat, maybe closing the eyes. Breathing into our back ribs. All right, then setting up for round 2. So maybe doing the same shape with the arms this set, maybe trying something new. I'm going to go for that little 45-degree angle, palms facing down, finding that cobra tail again. And on your inhale, everything lifts. So we're trying to lift up, maybe lifting the arms up, lifting the gaze up. Can we squeeze the legs together and lift them a little higher? And release, lowering down. Maybe resting the other cheek on the side of the mat, gazing in the opposite direction, or closing the eyes, breathing into the back. preparing yourself for one more round. So taking whichever option with the arms is calling to you. I'm going to go with that interlock grip for the last time. Legs are squeezing in together. Feet are pointed. And then on your inhale, peeling the chest back. Everything is up. So our legs are squeezing in and then up. Our arms are squeezing in and then up. We're lifting the gaze. And release, lowering down. Breathing for just a moment. All right, then as you're ready, we're going to take our hands underneath our shoulders. Then on your inhale, peeling the chest up for a cobra. A nice stretch here for a moment, drawing the shoulder blades down and back. And then exhale, lower down, tuck your toes, push yourself up through tabletop, and then come to seated for some separate leg stretching. So I'm going to come wide so you can see me a little bit more. So first up, we're going to do side stretches. So right leg is coming out, left leg coming in, looking for 90 degrees in your hips. Your foot can be on your thigh or maybe coming in on top. If you want to get a little bit of ankle flexibility and mobility, work towards that half lotus. But either option, inhale, arms up. Exhale, look over that right leg, start to hinge forward, going into our separate leg, stretching on the right side. I got my mochi here. She can always tell when it's the cool down time. She comes a little bit closer. But luckily she doesn't lick my face too much when I'm practicing. But she's just always there, my little shadow. Can we lift the chest, leading with the heart, and then hinging a little bit deeper, maybe surrendering the head. Then release. Inhale, start to walk yourself up, keeping the legs where they are. We're going to take our left hand beside our left hip. Inhale, reaching our right arm over and up, just going into a little side stretch on the right side. Maybe sticking with this, or maybe driving down in the right heel, pressing and lifting the hips up, kind of doing a fallen wild thing pose variation. We lift the hips higher, maybe looking over our fingertips. And then exhale, sinking the hips down. And then going into the other side. So left leg pivots out, right foot pivots in, setting up for that 90 degrees. Inhale, arms up, and then exhale, looking over that left leg, hinging forward, grabbing onto that left foot. Leading with the heart before hinging deeper. And then when you have that depth, start to surrender the head. Rolling your weight in towards center. Breathing into the back line. Softening in here at the end. And then release, walking yourselves back up, taking that right hand coming to your right hip. Inhale, taking that left hand over and up, maybe just leaning back, maybe walking the right hand out a little bit more, gives you more depth, or starting to drive down with that left heel, lifting the hips up, going into our deeper side stretch. Maybe the gaze is up, maybe the gaze is at your fingers. Breathing space. And then release, coming back down, feeling it out. And then bringing your legs in front of you for our final stretch, final full 2 legs together stretch. So flexing the feet, strong active legs. Bend your knees as much as you need to sit tall, have that nice tall spine. Then inhale, arms up, and exhale, hinge forward, leading with the heart to find the depth before surrendering in. So straight legs in this pose is the goal one day. But what's more important is having that length in the spine. Otherwise, we're stretching our back, not our legs. So bend your knees as much as you need to. And then slowly starting to straighten them as your muscles kind of get into it and waken up. And then maybe tucking your chin, surrendering the head at the end. Then release. Inhale, coming back through center, making our way into our final savasana. So if there's anything your body still needs, any movement you still want, go ahead and take it, or make your way into your final savasana shape to settle in. So traditionally, legs are straight, heels in, feet flop out. Palms are by your side, facing up to receive. I like to bend my knees, take my feet mat's width, and have my knees falling in just to get a little bit more support on my low spine, and just feels better in my spine most days. So take either option or whatever Savasana shape is calling to you. I'm going to go ahead and take my ponytail out because it's hard to relax. And then just settling in for a few beautiful minutes here. Spending some time just trying to come to 100% stillness. Trying to let go of whatever you're holding on to. And just feel your breath. Breath by breath, softening in. And listening to the world around you. All right, so Savasana is calling to you. You're welcome to stay as long as you want. Maybe pause this video and stay a little longer. If you're ready to be guided out, start to wiggle those fingers and toes, keeping your eyes closed to reduce that stimulation at the beginning. Then maybe starting to do some wrist circles, ankle circles, get that deeper movement going. Taking your hands overhead, stretching your arms, getting a big good morning stretch. And then gently starting to roll over onto your favorite side. Pausing for a moment to letting your spine come back to neutral. And then gently starting to push yourself up into a comfortable seat. And again, keeping those eyes closed if you can, to keep that focus, that intention still on the inside. Sitting tall, shoulders are broadening over the hips. Maybe the hands are on your knees. Maybe hands are at heart center. Maybe rubbing them a little bit, feeling some sensation, that tactile stimulation, feeling that heat that we have been cultivating and cherishing in ourselves. And then maybe taking those hands towards center, just pausing for a moment. Maybe a gentle tuck of the chin, having a moment of gratitude and kindness for yourselves. So you've made it through whatever shapes you chose or didn't choose to take. It was beautiful. It was yoga, and you are doing exactly what you're supposed to do. So calling to mind that love and compassion for yourself and for others, and bringing that compassion into our lives off the mat. For all of the work that we put on the mat, we all benefit off of the mat. And until we meet on our mats again, I bow to you and say, Om Shanti, peace. Go in peace and do the good work. And thank you so much for being here. If you found this video even slightly helpful in some way, I would love it if you would like, subscribe, maybe send a comment. I read and respond to every comment and every question. And thank you so much. I can't wait to see you again soon. Bye.